Nazis vanished without a trace. Their defeat in 45. They all came out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died. They say the prisoner of Spandau was a symbol of defeat. Whilst Hess remained in prison, then the fascists they would beat. So the promise of an Aryan world would never materialize. So why did they all come out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died? The world is riddled with maggots. The maggots are getting fat. They're making a tasty meal of all the bosses and bureaucrats. They're taking over the boardrooms and they're fat and full of pride. And they all came out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died. So if you meet with these historians, I'll tell you what to say. Tell them that the Nazis never really went away. They're out there burning houses down and peddling racist lies. And we'll never rest again until every Nazi dies.
Woke up one morning and there were soldiers. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Woke up one morning and there were soldiers. The invasion had begun. Lend me your shoulder, we'll stand together. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Lend me your shoulder, we'll stand together. But I feel my time has come, and if I die here for the resistance, oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. And if I die here for the resistance, you must lay me in my grave among the flowers upon the mountain. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Among the flowers upon the mountain, let me rest among the brave. Someday the people will pick the flowers. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Someday the people will pick the flowers, and they will remember my name. This is the flower of the resistance. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. This is the flower of the resistance, and those who died for liberty. This is the flower of the resistance. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. This is the flower of the resistance, and those who died for liberty. This is the flower of our resistance, and those who died for liberty.
Come all of you good workers, good news to you I'll tell, of how the good old Union has come in here to dwell.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
My daddy was a miner and I'm a miner's son, and I'll stick with the Union till every battle's won.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
They say in Harlan County there are no neutrals there. You'll either be a Union man or a thug for J.H. Blair.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Oh, workers, can you stand it? Oh, tell me how you can. Will you be a lousy scab or will you be a man?
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Don't scab for the bosses, don't listen to their lies. Us poor folks haven't got a chance unless we organize.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
I was born in the Dublin street where the lion runs do beat, and the lovely English people walked all over us. And every single night when they would come home tight, he'd invite the neighbours out with this chorus. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like Galloway from the green and lovely lace of Killishandra. Tell us how you slew them old Arabs 2 by 2. Like the Zulus, they had nice bows and arrows. Of how bravely you faced one with your 16-pounder gun, and you frightened all the natives to the marrow. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like Galloway from the green and lovely lakes of Killishandra. Let us hear you tell how you stand the brave Parnell and taught him well and truly persecuted. Where are the stares and jeers that you proudly let us hear when our heroes of 16 were executed? Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like Galloway from the green and lovely lakes of Killishandra.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch all with the wicked witch. Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch all with the wicked witch. Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead.
Oh, come out, you pretty sons, come out and fight without your guns. Show your wife how you won medals up in Derry. You murdered 16 men and you'll do the same again. So get out of here and take your bloody army. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like Galloway from the green and lovely lakes of Killishandra. Oh, come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like Galloway from the green and lovely lakes of Killishandra.
Buckingham Palace announced the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
Hello there, hello there, hello there, everyone. I started at the top of the hour, so you can stop fucking moaning at me in the Discord, you set of bumperclots. I'm very well, thank you for asking. How is everyone? Oh, God. I mean, literally.
The melt.
How are we going on? Alright. I've had a really boring day. I'm very, very boring. I did some washing, some spring cleaning, You know, just general life administration. It's fucking tedious. But I did listen to an audio reading of God, okay, of Karl Marx's critique of Hegel's right, or whatever the fuck it was called anyway, on the internet. So, you know, whilst I was doing that, so yeah, I'm a nerd. I really am. Nerd! Anyway, how are we all? That sounds like abject horror. It kind of is. But I can't stop myself. What are you saying about Trump? Well, I mean, the title of this isn't really relevant to the content we're going to be covering, really. But I think it's just worth pointing out that Donald Trump is a paedophile. Because that gets lost in amongst the weeds of all of the war crimes and genocide and stuff. But let's not forget, he is also a rapist of children. And adults, to be fair, but like children, you know. Timothy Chalamet is way too young to play Karl Marx. Well, no, he could play young Karl Marx. Karl Marx wasn't always like old and beardy. You understand that, right? He was a sprightly young duderino at one point. Do not hit right-click save. True. True. Young, not Marx, or both. Boom. Boom. Kev always was old and beardy. Well, we know that's not true, because I've showed you the picture of me from my university days, where I'm a skinny, young, beardless gentleman. Yeah. Honestly, I had the strongest twink energy of any person ever. And as I've said before, if I could time travel, I would go back and I would come all over that young man's face. Just saying. Would it be incest if you fucked yourself? Not sure. Oh yeah, no, I suffered the twinkiest of twink deaths. Absolutely. Look at me. Look at the monster I've become. Just saying. Anyway. Self-cessed. True. Yeah, would it be just technically masturbation? I don't know. I don't know how it works. I have not thought through the concept of time travel / having sex with yourself. Also, I don't think he'd be into it, if I'm all entirely honest. Well, Dingus. Dingus leads us on to our first topic, actually, bizarrely, in a roundabout way. But we'll get to that in a second. Let's do some shilling at the top, shall we? Right. If you wanted to help out the stream, and indeed by extension the host of the stream, you can hit the follow button here on twitch.tv/KFLogan1875. You can, what can you do? You can do all of the things. Shilling, another philosopher. We're doing philosopher puns tonight, chat. Okay? Don't be a bunch of cants about it. Ew! No. Sorry, I'm such a Burke. that actually works quite well. That is nice. Anyway, yes, you can. Yeah, right. You can subscribe for $5 or something. It depends where you are, you know. You can give subs to the community. You can do bits messages. 200 bits or more gets you a text-to-speech. You can do super chats via the Streamlabs link below. $2 or more there gets you a text-to-speech. And I have turned the alert box on, so that will happen. At least until Gennaro Gattuso annoys me too much, and then I will switch it off again and forget to put it back on after. You can. What else have I got? I've got Patreon and PayPal, which you can help me out on there. I've got Discord, Blue Sky, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. If you're on YouTube, hell the fuck to the O. Yeah, you can subscribe for free. You can hit the bell icon for free, and you can thumb the video up for free. Yeah. you can subscribe for 99 pence, which is cheaper than a Freddo in some places. That is a disgusting abuse of the British people, but it is also true. You can gift memberships at that same commensurate rate. You can do super chats. You can do super thanks. I did get a super thanks actually while I wasn't on. So thank you to that person. They gave me £2 and said thank you. That was very nice of them. That was lovely. Anyway, what else can you do? I think that's it. Yeah, do all of those things maybe. I don't know. Yeah, shill away, mini pidge. Yeah, absolutely. Fun fact: there's an Australian knockoff of Freddo where it's a koala.
Freddo communism now.
Exactly. No one gets a Freddo until everyone gets a fucking Freddo. Actually, can vegans eat Freddo? I presume it's got milk in it, so they can't. Can we get a vegan Freddo and a gluten-free Freddo or something? I don't know. More caramel. You can never have too much caramel, that is true. We need more drop bears. No, we don't. We really don't. Soy milk Freddo, yes. Can mine be made with twink milk? Oh, that is grotesque. Anyway. Ooh, Navarra podcast Michael Walker friends. I've never been on Navarra. What are you talking about? And I'm certainly no friend of Michael Walker. Not that he knows who I am, I presume, but you know. Anyway. Yes. Yeah, like I say, Pidge, shill away with whatever the fuck it was you were going to shill. That's fine. I trust you. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe you're going to shill something really horrific. I have no idea, but...
Stop it. Get some help.
We should all stop and get some help. What does that say? You, me, and Road 66, let's go. Well, given that both you and I would never be allowed into America, Lord Fritus, maybe we'll go on the M42, the Birmingham Ring Road. Sort of similar to Route 66 in many respects. That is a stiff dick of poop. Do you know if Helena will be on tonight? I have no idea whether Helena will be on tonight. I don't know. I haven't spoken to her about her thing. Yeah, sorry, I'm not. I don't know what to tell you. Thank you to. But what noise happened? Something happened. Thank you, Fosmos, for gifting a community sub. We're on a hype train, mother flippers. If we get to level 2 of the hype train, I will finger the. I will get. Who will I finger? A dead fascist of some variety. Maybe. I don't know. Have some bowler hat slop. Oh no. Oh God. Okay. Maybe we'll do this as well then. I don't want to do that, but...
Stop it. Get some help.
What can I say? Have you fingered Chuck... I have not fingered Chuck Norris yet, but you know what? I'm about to. And you know what? To keep it in line with his love of Kung Fu, I'm going to do, instead of a 1-inch punch, I'm going to do a 1-inch fingering. Fact. Thank you, KSO, for ensuring that fingering takes place. With resubscribing for 42 months. Much love to you. Anyway, and using the Kevy Barra emote, which is always good. I'm still learning. Helena was on Navarra earlier this evening. Well, technically she streamed then, just not on her channel. But yeah, you know, she does a lot of Navarra stuff now. She's becoming a regular, which is fucking awesome, by the way. I'm so proud of her and Curtis for growing Turn Left and all of this. What we need is more left-wing voices. That's the entire reason I started doing YouTube and Twitch and stuff, because there needs to be more people out there saying good things and fighting the good fight. Yeah, so anyway, My friend's nephew is running for Leeds Greens and is fundraising with a massive party. Oh, awesome. Oh, is that the thing you wanted to shill, Pidge? Okay, yeah. Have you got a link to it or anything? I'll pin it at the top of the thing. Because no offence to whoever, Lord Freetus, who posted Despunkify. As important a message as Despunkify is, of course. Because, of course, we know that if people with a penis and a prostate don't ejaculate 3 or more times a week, it can increase your chances of prostate cancer. Little known fact for you there. So Despunkify, very important. But I feel like it would be much more important to shield
You
that
can measure
thing.
the distance with your willy.
1 inch punch.
You just assaulted me.
With love. Thank you. Thank you, Dingus. Cheeky cunts. Honestly, one day I'm going to have to go to all of your houses and give you a good fucking slap. I mean, I won't do that because that would involve me having to go places. I don't like going places. Fuck that.
Kitty bonk.
Thank you, Wayward Historian, was 667, neighbour of the Beast Bitties. Anyway. Oh, as a point to that as well, Wayward Historian, thank you for posting the Druid's Heath gentrification post. There is an update on that. So, I told you, didn't I? The council estate I grew up on, Druid's Heath, is going to be gentrified, basically, right? They're going to knock it down and replace it with middle-class houses that no one who lives there currently, including my own mother, can afford to possibly live in. And I told you that fundraiser was for the legal case, which is still ongoing in a sense, but they did actually have a result. Instead of the council taking it to the High Court, because they lost the case at the local court, on the basis that they didn't, as part of the planning process, they didn't put in the impact assessment for people with disabilities and stuff, which they're legally required to do as a local council. And so they had to withdraw their initial application, and they're going to resubmit it with the thing and all the rest of it, and then go to another vote at the council. So, in a sense, victory, yay, W's in chat. But also, it's just a sort of stay of execution more than anything, unfortunately. Because they're just going to resubmit it, and then vote on it, and presumably do the same fucking corrupt, evil shit that they did the first time. But it certainly pushes the process back, so that's good. That's something. What is this? Come to the Green Party. Oh, nice. Oh, Zach Polanski's going to be there. Oh, fucking dope. Get a picture with Zach and send it to me. And I'll show everyone, but I'll blur your face if you want that. I don't know. Whatever. Oh, that's fucking dope. Okay, yeah. How do I pin this again? There we go. Wayward Historian beat me to it. Thank you, everyone. Go and follow Pidge's thing. Their, was it cousin or something? Or friend, whatever it was. Friend's nephew, there you go, is standing for the Greens in Leeds. Now, they are Yorkshire, so, you know, bear that in mind, just saying. But don't hold it against them, okay? Don't hold that against them. The people of the North get to vote too. It's almost like they're humans or something. I don't know how it works. But, yeah, go and follow that link and support the people. Because, actually, wasn't there one of my viewers that was standing for the Greens? I vaguely recall at some point. If they want to come on at some point, and I'll try and my tiny amount of reach try and boost them in some respect. Yeah, that would be cool. But anyway, was it you who stole McSweeney's phone? Yes, because it definitely did get stolen and didn't just get lost. It didn't, like, destroy it because it was very, very incriminating. No, it definitely was stolen. Honest. We stand for the Greens and kneel for the rainbow flag. True. Do the Greens have a policy for increasing grazing land for Britain's zebras? Yes. We're going to tear down all of the private schools and lay new pastures for the zebras to graze upon. Official policy. Anyway, let's get on with some content, shall we? Right. I'm currently planning leafleting for the Green candidates in my area. That's fucking awesome, Rocky. If there's anything like if you're involved in the Green Party or whatever, and you need me to get a message out there, contact me, and I will endeavour to use my tiny amount of clout to
Stop
do
it.
something
Get
positive.
some help.
No, we will not, Michael. Shut the fuck up. Although, congratulations on your NASCAR team being very successful. Much more successful than the Charlotte Bobcats / Hornets were, you loser. Anyway. Turn churches into homeless shelters. Yeah, that's fair enough. You are looking spectacular, Kev. Well, that is entirely incorrect, but thank you. And thank you, Sam Outside, for 10 subs. Much love to you. What a legend. Fuck. That's awesome. Honestly, like, if you need me to do crimes on your behalf, I will. I absolutely will. Or turn homeless people into priests. I mean, I appreciate you thinking outside the box. Okay, but I'm not sure that necessarily works. We need to be helping homeless people, not turning them into paedophiles, please. The Greens will be the official opposition in Scotland, according to a new poll. That would be fucking dopeness. Anyway, right. I'm actually going to do some fucking content. 20 minutes in. There are a couple of pieces I want to start off with. We'll do PMQs in a bit, right? There are a couple of bits I want to start off with which are a bit more sort of esoteric or a bit weird or whatever, based on things that regular viewers of mine will be aware are sort of bugbears of mine. They're pet peeves, if you will. And one of them is to do with a character we've become far too familiar with, in my eyes, on this channel, a certain Mr. Jeremy Beadle. Now, for those who don't know, Jeremy Beadle was a British TV host in the 80s and 90s, famous for having a withered hand. He literally did. He had a withered hand. It was a thing. He was a man of disabilities. But became a very popular TV host back in the day. And the reason he became familiar on this channel is because I was talking about the grave of Karl Marx, whose tattoo you can see there above someone's arse cheek. What a great... Well, I'm sure that's what he definitely had in mind. Anyway. And I was talking about he's been buried in Highgate Cemetery in London, and there are lots of other famous people buried there. So we looked it up, and one of the people was Jeremy Beadle, right? Who I wasn't even aware was dead at the time, so there you go. But apparently he died in like 2008 or something. Anyway, set that to one side, because there's another aspect of the story here, which is my hatred of Ripperologists. Now, regular viewers of mine who understand the deep lore of this, will know that I have a specific bugbear with people who are obsessed with the Jack the Ripper murders. And I'm going to assume everyone knows what the Jack the Ripper murders were, broadly speaking. I'm not going to go through the fucking history of that. But people who are obsessed with that are some of the creepiest, grossest motherfuckers in the world. They genuinely are. And they're self-obsessed and conceited to the point where they call themselves Ripperologists, like it's a science, and not just a fucking... a gross, like, obsession with looking at the mangled corpses of women who were slaughtered 140 years ago, you sick bastards. And I also hate the industry that has popped up around doing, like, historical tours that are, like, I mean, just incredibly lurid, gross, I mean, frankly, pornographic fucking exposés of, like, the murder of these women. And, of course, there's the anti-sex worker aspect to that some of the people probably were engaged at some point in sex work, and therefore it's seen that they're kind of not really victims as such. You know, it's that same disgusting, misogynistic evil that exists today against sex workers. But because of the distance of time, you can basically just do that, and it's fine apparently in the society. Anyway, so I fucking despise them. And actually, I've been thinking about is it possible that you could do an ethical Ripper tour? Now, it couldn't be called a Ripper tour because you shouldn't name the crimes after the criminal, it seems to me. Not that that person was called Ripper, we don't think, but whatever. So you could call it the Mary Kelly tour or something, which was one of the victims, or something like that, you know. And I've thought about this for a while. Yeah, you call it the Whitechapel Crime Tour or something like that. Yeah. I've been thinking about this. I mean, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I'm a good enough communicator and whatever. But there absolutely is a story to be told there, which would involve the Whitechapel murders, but more than just the Ripper murders, because people forget there were lots of murders at the time. There was the Israel Schwartz, Israel Lipsky story, which was an amazing thing at the time. A much more interesting story, as far as I'm concerned, than the Ripper murders, in all honesty, because it became a social phenomenon and a political phenomenon. You could tell the story of the Cray twins, who grew up and existed and murdered people in the same streets, you know, about 80 years later. You could talk about the Thames Torso murders, which took place in a similar area as well, at roughly the same sort of time. You could talk about lots of different things. And, of course, tell a genuinely interesting story of working class history from a very working class perspective, and bring in the different elements of like immigrant history as well. Because, of course, one of the aspects of the Ripper murder that isn't really talked about is the anti-Semitism that you had post the assassination of the Tsar of Russia in the early 1880s or late 1870s, whenever it was. You had a lot of pogroms in the east of Europe and Central Europe that drove a lot of Jewish people to come and live in places like London, right? And so Whitechapel was a very heavily Jewish area at the time. And one of the kind of key parts of the story is the Dalston Street graffito, which is one of the murder victims had part of their dress ripped away, and the murderer wiped their hands with it, and then dropped that piece of thing in a piece of cloth in a place called Dalston Street. And there was a piece of graffiti on the wall right near it, which said, "The Jews are men who will not be blamed for nothing." It was anti-Semitic graffiti, right? Or graffito, because as we talked about the other day, Italian, if it's singular, it's O, and if it's plural, it's I. So there you go. Anyway, and so this was seen as like it must be the Jews what done it, because some people always believe it's the Jews what done it. Anyway, so that aspect, you could tell that story of kind of Jewish culture and all that sort of stuff. You know, you could really genuinely, I think, tell an interesting, fascinating story about that area that doesn't just be like, oh, let's look at body parts. Let's look. Some of these people will literally have projector machines that will project the dead bodies of these women, the people who had been murdered, onto like the building that exists there now, where they were fucking killed. Like, you're literally like abusing the memory of murder victims for financial gain. You're a fucking monster. You know, anyway, but that's something I've thought about doing, but I'm not a London tour guide, so I don't even know how you would go about even doing that, you know? But I think that would be a really cool thing. She's called Jay Draper, Kev. Look, I know Jay Draper. Well, I don't know her. I've watched a lot of her content, and she's fucking awesome. Yeah. Would she be... Maybe she would be interested in that. Yeah. Become a Birmingham tour guide. There really isn't any call for it. We don't have that same level of interest. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe Jay Draper would be interested in that. I don't know. Maybe... I mean, I could reach out to her, but she didn't know who the fuck I am. Anyway. But I think that would be a really cool thing to do. Because, I mean, fuck these people, you know? Anyway. Here on the left is a big Primark. Exactly like Birmingham doesn't have that history. And no one's interested. Anyway, I don't know. I was about plug for a collab style tour, maybe. That would be fun. I'd love to do a fucking history tour with her. That would be amazing. If you don't know Jay Draper, by the way, go and look her up. She's a British YouTuber and a London tour guide. But a much more ethical tour guide than the Ripperologists scumfucks. So go and check her out on the YouTube. Anyway, so the point being, right, I was unaware that... Oh, for fuck's sake. I was unaware that Jeremy Beadle was a Ripperologist when he was alive. I didn't even know.
This well-known celebrity Ripperologist must have been Jeremy Beadle.
What? I had no idea. Genuinely, I had no idea.
Best known as a TV prankster on shows such as Beadle's About and You've Been Framed. He died from a form of leukemia, aged just 59, in 2008 and is buried in Highgate Cemetery and has this very unique bookish grave. He invented the rather clever collective noun, a speculation of Ripperologists.
A cunt of Ripperologists.
His favourite suspect was James Maybrick, who has somewhat fallen out of fashion, as the diary upon which that case rests is widely regarded as a forgery. Would Jeremy Beadle still favour Maybrick were he alive today? I somewhat doubt it. Although the diary was the subject of much contentious debate, the field of Ripperology was...
It's not a field. It's a fucking cesspit.
A friendlier place back then. I'm sure that were Jeremy Beadle still alive, Ripperological debates
I don't look anything like him. Fuck off.
would be conducted in a much more civilised fashion, in what would now more appropriately be called a discord of Ripperologists. The most well-known...
Anyway, so that kind of blew me away a little bit. Anyway. My second favourite Jeremy. I thought they found out who Jack the Ripper was. No, they don't know who Jack the Ripper was. It's basically an unsolvable crime. People keep saying, oh, we found this thing and that thing. No, you haven't. It's bollocks. Anyway. Right. Now, on a completely different note, but again, kind of esoteric. Stick with me. This isn't about football. Basically at all. Right? Mohamed Salah, currently of Liverpool Football Club, although not for much longer, has announced that he will be leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. A pretty unclassy move from Liverpool, basically, over the last couple of years towards one of the greatest servants of that football club ever. The leading scorer from Africa in the Premier League history. An Egyptian legend.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
He was mostly very good, to be fair. Anyway, and one of the main reasons for Liverpool's recent success. But there you go. Honest lot, bit of a mug in all honesty. But let's not get into it. Kev doesn't. No one's here to listen to Kev talk about football. Okay. But this story is a jumping off point to talk about the thing I actually wanted to talk about. Because given that this story came out yesterday, there's been a lot of people talking about Mo Salah.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes
both
may be
him
shit.
as a footballer and a person more broadly. He's a very strong supporter of Palestinian rights and the Palestinian people's cause and stuff like that. But my favourite Mo Salah moment, and this is where we get into the actual sort of topic, was this amazing thing. Again, he is an Egyptian, so that's the sort of context here. He posted on Instagram once, checking out my stolen stuff at the British Museum. And there he is in front of, like, is that Tutankhamun? Whatever, one of the fucking pharaohs, you know, because it's literally a stolen fucking Egyptian artifact in London, you know. And you think, fair play, Mo, lovely stuff. Why is the good footballer leaving Liverpool? Well, he's old and it doesn't get on with the current manager, so yeah. Anyway, the point being, I fucking hate the British Museum. Regular viewers will know. I despise the British Museum. I think it is one of the biggest repositories of criminality and criminal goods in human history. It is a massive crime scene. I would happily have the place shut down and have its bricks destroyed and made into kitty litter. I fucking hate it so much. So many of its greatest artifacts are theft. Just straightforward have been stolen. Probably most famously the so-called Elgin marbles, the Parthenon marbles, right? Which are these amazing friezes that were stolen from the Parthenon in Athens, in Greece. And for me, like, I'm not a religious man, as regular viewers will know, but the closest I come to religious awe or inspiration, the closest I feel to something greater than the human beings which created it, is things like the Parthenon, or when I went to the Hagia Sophia in Istanbul. Amazing thing with all these ancient fucking paintings and lots of stray cats. Cool, awesome fucking place. Or if you go into like Westminster Abbey or Stonehenge or whatever, these things are incredible. They inspire something within me far beyond mere human creation. So even though I'm not a religious man in any way, this is like the closest it comes to me, you know, a kind of religious observance. And so to see these things destroyed, and that's what's happened here. They've been taken from the place they have. This historical monument has been ripped asunder on the fucking the greed, the avarice of imperialist scum like Lord Elgin. These things should be given back to the Greek people. The Benin bronzes should be given back to the people of Benin. The Rosetta Stone, and indeed that statue of Ramesses II, thank you, chap, should be given back to Egypt. Various other fucking things from around the world. Basically, there isn't a continent we didn't steal shit from. We literally have one of the fucking Moai statues from Easter Island, one of the big head statues. That was just stolen. We've just got that now in the British Museum. It's fucking disgusting. Give it back to those people, you bastards. But it gets worse, because this isn't just some shit that happened like 200 years ago. Because I'll just read this little passage for you. A significant recurring issue is the museum's collection of Nazi looted art. Since at least 2002, there have been calls to return artworks looted during the Nazi era to the heirs of their original Jewish owners. The law prohibiting this was changed in 2022. Stop the fucking presses there. Why was there a fucking law against that? Why was there ever a law against that? Why was there a law that said we can't give back shit that was stolen by the Nazis? Like, every time you look at the British state and you look under any rock, there's just some fucking crazy evil shit going on. There was a law that said the British Museum couldn't give back Nazi looted fucking art. Like, this place is just fucking evil, isn't it? Britain's just a bad place. It's just a bad fucking place. Thus giving the museum powers to make such decisions. Just get ready for something, because you're thinking to yourself, look, Kev, come on now. It's probably only one or two pieces of art, you know? Is it that big a deal, really? You know? A 2017 survey suggested that almost 1/3 of the more than 20,000 artworks acquired by the museum since 1933 have dubious provenance from the World War II period. So, 1933, the year that Hitler came to power in Germany, and then it became Nazi Germany. Around about, 6,500 artworks held by the British Museum have, quote, dubious provenance. In other words, they were stolen by the Nazis. Now, that's bad enough in of itself that they're not giving that back. But think about the historical implications of this. Many of these artworks were bought before the start of the Second World War. They'd been looted from Jewish homes in Germany and occupied Europe, and then purchased by the British Museum. Which would surely mean that the British Museum gave public money to art dealers working on behalf of the Nazi Party and the German state. That money then used to create...
Stop it. Get some help.
They really should have done. That money then used to create the bombs and planes that would be used to flatten Britain's cities during the Blitz. Nazi collaborators is what the British Museum were. Essentially a fifth column. You can't reform this. This is not something that you can get past. There's no salvation. There's no salvation for this organisation. It needs to be destroyed. It is a cancerous scourge, a scar upon Britain. Fuck the British Museum. Anyway, talking about corrupt old fossils, the House of Commons.
We come to Prime Minister's questions. Cat Smith.
Question number 1, Mr. Speaker.
Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. An attack on Britain's Jewish community is an attack on all of us. And, Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to say that London ambulances have now replaced the Hatza.
Now, this is an interesting story. Firstly, to Jewish people in the UK, I hope you're okay. I hope you're feeling safe. Know that I stand in solidarity with you. And against any kind of anti-Semitic attack upon you. So this story, in Golders Green, there was Jewish ambulances that were sort of firebombed, I guess. Thankfully, it doesn't appear that anyone was hurt during this, which is good. But I do have to say, and I don't have any evidence because the case is still ongoing, why would Iran do this? Not to say that the Iranian government don't have significant numbers of anti-Semites amongst them. But if I were, say, Mossad, I don't know that I could design a more perfect false flag than what happened. Because they didn't have to kill anybody. They didn't have to really do anything particularly dangerous. But they could stick on the country they're currently at war with, Iran, an anti-Semitic attack, which is far more likely to bolster British opinion than anything, really. And they did absolutely nothing to impede Britain in any way whatsoever. So, why would the Iranian state send people to Britain to gin up fear of anti-Semitic attacks by Iranian forces and do nothing to stop Britain from engaging in warfare. Like, this doesn't make any fucking sense that Iran would do this at all. It makes far more sense that this would be a false flag. Now, that doesn't mean it is. It could absolutely be that. It could be someone, a group of people completely unconnected with any state actor that did this, just on a whim. Or as an act of, actual anti-Semitic terrorism. We don't know at this point. But if I had to, say what makes more sense than any other conclusion, whose interest does this serve the most? It would be Israel. We'll wait and see what happens with the investigation and so on and so forth, but why are there Jewish ambulances? Well, I believe it was a Jewish charity thing. So, but it was connected to the Jewish community of Golders Green. So there was definitely an anti-Semitic air to the attack. But yeah, they're not Jewish. They're not ambulances just for Jewish people. It's not it's not sectarian in that respect. How would that even work? An ambulance turns up and they're like, "Are you Jewish? Are you Jewish? Because if you're not, we can't take you." But oh, you're a Sikh. Sorry, mate, I can't. Ambulance just for Jews, it's not like that. That would be fucking mental, obviously. Anyway, the point being, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist about it, but the more and more you see of these curious little coincidences and stuff, the more you start to feel like maybe we're being played, Anyway, that's my take on it, for what it's worth.
Solar ambulances, and that the NHS will pay for the permanent replacements. We're also accelerating our social cohesion plan to strengthen our British values of tolerance, decency and respect.
What are you talking about? When have those been British fucking values? You are the person who coined the phrase fucking... Well, you didn't coin it as such, but you copied the Rivers of Blood fucking line. The Island of Strangers. You don't get to be oh, we're all tolerant and lovely. You're fucking not, mate.
Mr. Speaker, we're also strengthening our communities by extending Pride in Place, announcing the locations of 7 new towns and delivering over 300 new school-based nurseries. This is investment in our high streets, more homes and action to support working people with the cost of living. Mr. Speaker, today we will also celebrate the installation of the new Archbishop of Canterbury.
Woke. It's a lady, so it's woke.
It's a key role in our national life, and I wish her every success. This morning I had meetings with ministerial colleagues and others. In addition to my duties in this House, I shall have further such meetings later today.
Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I'd like to thank the Prime Minister for the £47 million that this government has given to Lancashire County Council to repair potholes. However, my constituents still feel like they need a moon buggy to navigate the streets of Lancashire. So would you agree with me that the reform councillors at Lancashire County Council are clearly wired to the moon if they think they're making effective use of this £47 million? Prime
Minister. Well, can I extend my sympathy to residents in Lancashire who are being utterly failed by their reform county council? And, Mr. Speaker, it's the same picture across the country. In Kent, Reform are cutting social care. In Worcestershire, they're hiking council tax by 9%, despite promises...
They have been, to be fair, they have been a disaster in local government, that is true. Also, Jenny, the Right Honourable Jenny, in attendance, salutes. Let's fucking go.
Lower taxes. In Staffordshire, the scandals in fighting have been so bad, the Reform are on their 4th leader in 11 months. It's a warning to the whole country. Reform have nothing to offer but chaos, grievance and division.
Leader of the Opposition, Beadle.
Who? Who's this? Dave? I don't know who this is.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I asked the Prime Minister 6 questions last week, and he didn't answer a single one. He has a duty to this House, Mr. Speaker, to answer the question. Let's see if he can do better this week. I'll start with a simple one. Will the Prime Minister approve the licences for Rosebank and Jackdaw gas fields in the North Sea?
Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, under statute, that is a matter for the Secretary of State, as she knows, because it's the same arrangements that were in place under the last government. Licences were granted, they were then struck down because of the defects in the process of the last government. But, Mr. Speaker, oil and gas is coming out of the North Sea 24/7. It will be part of the energy mix for many years to come.
Oh, jeez. If I hear him say it's part of the energy mix for more years to come, one more time I'm going to lose my fucking shit. Like, he's such a fucking robot. Does Reeves have new glasses from Lord Ali? Very possibly. I don't know. Also, David Lambie looks like he just smelt a bad fart. I hope he did.
We fully support all existing oil and gas fields throughout their lifespan, and in November we made changes to extend to allow neighbouring fields to be exploited. But we need to take control of our energy prices. The only way to do that is through renewables. The party opposite used to make that argument. One of their senior figures in 22 said this: it's investment in nuclear and renewables that will reduce our dependence on fossil fuels and keep our consumer costs down. Who was that senior figure? The leader of the opposition.
What a very sensible chamber it is. The mother of all parliaments.
This is not the day to be thrown out with a 2-week break coming. Come in bed.
God, he's a useless cunt.
Mr. Speaker, we can have renewables and oil and gas. He says it's a matter for the Secretary of State. He says it's a matter for the Secretary of State. I thought he was the Prime Minister, and he loves to...
Right, but he's not a dictator. Are you aware of the concept of cabinet government? Because you were in the cabinet at one point, so you should be aware of that. He's not an autocrat. You're supposed to come up with cabinet-based decisions. And specifically, when it comes to the licensing of new oil and gas fields, that is literally, according to the fucking law, which was in place under the Tory government as well, up to the Secretary of State for Energy, not the Prime Minister. Just saying.
Hide behind legal process every single time. I wonder, Mr. Speaker, what a director of public... What? Have
Order. Mr. Yeltsin, you don't want to test my patience, I'm sure. Come back.
Considering you never kick anyone out, your patience is infinite, apparently.
Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister loves to hide behind legal process. I wonder what a director of public prosecutions would make of the defence. Sorry, I can't produce my WhatsApps. My phone's been stolen.
Okay, that's pretty good. Okay. That's a nice little... That's yeah. Okay. You gotta give it to her. That's a nice little line. I mean, she does come across as a whiny little bitch all the time, because that's what she is. But that was good. That was good.
The Jackdaw gas field could be up and running before winter. All that gas would be used here in the UK to heat 1.6 million homes. That is enough to power Norfolk, Suffolk and Essex put together.
But do we want to power those places? Would be my question, you know?
Will the Prime Minister approve the licences, or is the Energy Secretary running the government?
Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, legislation has been passed. It's absolutely clear that the quasi-judicial duty under legislation rests with the Secretary of State. I really think if she's going to put this challenge to me, she needs to read the legislation. That is the legislation that they applied for 14 years. It's exactly the legislation that they used to put the licences in place, which were then struck down because the process was defective. But, Mr. Speaker, let's be clear. When Russia invaded Ukraine, energy prices doubled. The 12-day war, oil prices hit £100 a barrel. In the last 4 weeks, because we're on the fossil fuel roller coaster, everybody has been held to ransom. The only way forward is to go further and faster on renewables. And the leader... Mr. Speaker, the leader of the opposition's approach is to outsource our foreign policy and let the US decide whether we go to war.
Which they already did. They bullied you into using our bases, you prick. Yeah.
Outsource our energy policy to Russia and Iran and let them set the price of energy. I will never do that because it's not in the British national interest.
Mr. Speaker, he is hiding behind so many people. He is the Prime Minister. He can make this decision.
No, he can't. No, he is she actually this fucking stupid? Is she actually that fucking stupid? He can't make this decision. It's literally in the law. Like, I mean, I know we're like, we don't actually care about the rule of law, or that's a thing that we use, you know, against our geopolitical enemies. But the law in Britain literally states that that is the job of the Secretary of State for Energy, not the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister isn't the President. He isn't the King. He isn't the dictator. He can't make that decision.
Today, he can.
No, he can't. He literally can't. You're shit at this. You're so shit at this. He literally can't do that. It would be struck down by the court as soon as it fucking happened. What are you talking about? Oh my God almighty. Also, her entire shtick here is, why won't you let rich oil companies make more money? I wonder why they're tanking in the polls. I wonder why they literally can't get their fucking deposit back. Who is it? I don't know. I don't know who this is. Kenneth something or other? Kevin? Calvin? It's something like that. Dave? Michael? Philip? Don't know. Don't know who he is.
He is so weak, he's the first person to be pushed around.
Literally double face palmage. Keith, I apologise. I was not familiar with your game. That's amazing. That's amazing. You made the Prime Minister double face palm you. Absolutely mugged her off. And rightly so. Rightly so. Fucking incredible scenes. Kemi, you are so shit. You have made Robot Boy feel... Look, that's a human emotion you're seeing there. Just pure exasperation of, like, I've just told her. It's in the fucking law. The law that they had. Like, it's not like he passed a law to make it so. It was the law when he came in. Like... I don't know what else I need to say to this bitch. Like, I've told her. I've answered 2 fucking questions. And they're both the same thing. And I've already told her it's in the fucking law. And she's still going. What? Absolutely barking. She's fucking... honestly. She's a creature. What a mutant.
By the Energy Secretary. Let me remind him, Mr. Speaker, let me remind him who is on my side. The unions, yes, GMB, they're on my side.
Yeah, GMB, like the good management boys. Who gives a fuck what they think? Okay. I couldn't give a shit. Look, if the GMB are for it, that's usually a good reason to be against it, is all I'll say. praying in aid the worst union in the country. I don't give a fuck.
Tony Blair.
Oh yeah, noted war criminal likes it. Cool. What a fine selection of wankers you have.
Speaker, Renewable UK, the very people that he's talking about, they are saying drill in the North Sea. Centrica, Octopus Energy.
Hang on. An organisation called Renewable UK said drill gas in the North Sea. Who the fuck are Renewable UK? Formerly known as British Wind Energy Association, is the trade association for wind energy, wave energy and tidal power industries in the UK. Green Energy Boss backs more North Sea oil and gas extraction from existing sites. Jürgen Meyer says production could bring economic benefits and give... You're not very good at being renewable focused, are you, lads? I'm guessing there's some Tufton Street Alliance type situation there as well.
Even Labour MPs. Let me quote the Labour member for Pembrokeshire who says, offshoring our carbon emissions might give a sense of moral superiority, but it is simply impoverishing our communities. We agree. So why does the Prime Minister think he knows better than everyone else?
I'm going to have one more go. The legislation...
I'm going to have one more go. Hang on. The snark. The snark of it. I'm going to have one more go. I'm going to try again. Right? Honestly, what you need to get out a whiteboard with some colouring pens and be like trying to explain like the law and the you know what I mean. You need to. I think you literally need to spell it out for her because she's not getting it. I'm gonna have one more go.
Better than everyone else.
I'm gonna have one more go. The legislation, the statute.
Hang on. This is, honestly, PMQs is usually boring as fuck. This is amazing. Did you hear the person go, ooh?
Legislation, the statute.
Who the fuck did that? Ooh. Renewable friend. Ooh. Jesus Christ. Oh. Again, I point this out every week, but I think it bears repeating. Other countries send representatives to the British Parliament to learn how to do democracy. Imagine if you'd sent your representative here and they heard someone go, ooh, really loudly.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.
The law prescribes the decision maker. They know that. They should be embarrassed that she doesn't even... she's attacking...
I hate to agree with Keith, but they should be embarrassed. They genuinely should be embarrassed. This is dog shit politics. What are you doing, Badger Bobs? Bibbidi bobbidi boo. What are you doing? Keith's clowning on you. He's double face palming. I'm going to have another go. Ooh.
Me, without having read the legislation. The legislation sets out who the decision maker is. It's the Secretary of State. It is not the Prime Minister. It has to be the Secretary of State, and it's a quasi-judicial process, exactly the process that they ran for many years.
He did have another go. I mean, I don't know how else he can explain this in more simple terms. Maybe a puppet show. Maybe a little Punch and Judy puppet show above the dispatch box might keep her attention, and she might get it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe someone on Twitter will have to explain it, because that seems to be the only place she ever gets information from. So maybe you should tweet at her. Yeah, at her. Maybe. I don't know. Do it with Bluey the dog. That would be good. Although I'm sure she would think it was woke communism or something. Or communism.
Mr. Speaker, oil and gas is part of the mix for many years to come.
Oh, fuck you, robot cunt. You had to ruin it, didn't you? You were having a good moment there, Keith, and you had to go and ruin it.
You need to get onto renewables. But, Mr. Speaker, we're discussing this because of the war. We need to de-escalate. And that is, yes, we are. That is why I stuck to my principles not to join the war and to act in collective self-defence. I appreciate...
We did join the war. We just joined the war in the most pathetic way possible. Thanks, Keith.
The Leader of the Opposition doesn't get that. She wanted to jump into the war without regard to the consequences and then do a mother of all U-turns, and now she's stranded without a thought-through position. And, Mr. Speaker, when she was...
Again, don't mention the phrase U-turns, Keith. That don't work for you.
Asked at the weekend whether she approved of the war, she said, that's a difficult one. It certainly is if you've got absolutely no judgment.
Mr. Speaker, I'm going to let the Prime Minister in on a secret. He's the Prime Minister. He can change the legislation. Hiding...
Oh, I mean, in theory, he can introduce legislation on government time, but A, doesn't mean that Parliament would pass it, and B, that means he couldn't do it today. You literally said he can make that decision today. I think she's got it. I think she understands, I fucked that up. It is in the legislation. But, like, do you know how long it takes to pass a bill in Parliament? He couldn't do that today. Even emergency legislation takes a little bit of time to get through. And this wouldn't be allowed as emergency legislation because it's not a fucking emergency. Honestly, he might need a third hand with which to facepalm now, I think. Maybe what you can do... Lammy can come in and give a face palm, and then Reeves from the other side, and you can have a quadra face palm about how fucking stupid she is. I guess you can fire cabinet ministers. Yeah, but you'd have to appoint somebody. Also, why would he fire so? Like, it's fine. Like ultimately, like, he's made the argument that you don't really need this gas thing. Isn't really like, he's not going to give you any more fucking licenses, right? So in a sense, like, you can argue he's sort of hiding behind him, but it is literally in the law as well. So unless you want him to become autocratic, I don't know what you not you in chat, but I don't know what she expects him to do exactly. Like, yeah, he's the Prime Minister. He's not all powerful though. He's not the fucking Führer. He's the Starmer. God, I feel sick.
behind the Energy Secretary is pathetic. Mr. Speaker, under his Labour government, we buy half the gas we use from Norway. Last year...
Which is just silly, because we should just invade and take it for free. Like, come on, I reckon we can take the Ouija's. Definitely. 100%. Let's go.
Norway's Labour government drilled 49 wells in the North Sea. That's what Norway's Labour...
Because they've got lots of oil, and we don't have lots of oil.
...government did. How many did Britain drill? 0. No. For the first time since 1964, under his government, Britain drilled no wells. Why is energy security the right policy for Labour in Norway, but the wrong policy for Labour in Britain?
Mr. Speaker, so now our attack is if you changed and passed some different law, you could take the decision, which she's challenging me today for not taking. It's absolutely...
Yeah, in case anyone was wondering why she's so big on this topic. Ooh. Boom! Tories ditch net zero commitment while receiving £250,000 from oil investors and climate deniers. So not just stupid, very corrupt. That's the thing. When you have these like corruption index tables, they're always completely fucking wrong. Not that like Somalia and Afghanistan aren't very corrupt. It's that Britain is also phenomenally corrupt. We just call it lobbying instead. It's not bribery, it's lobbying. It's fine. If you just call it something else, it doesn't count as corruption.
Ridiculous. Now, all that would do is to slow the process down. Oil and gas is coming out every day. There's a mix of that and renewables. But it's really important, Mr. Speaker, the most important thing to get energy security is to ensure we de-escalate this war. I know where I stand on this. We are not joining the war.
We have joined the war. Stop fucking lying.
She wanted to join the war. She didn't think through the consequences, and now she doesn't know where she stands on the most important issue facing this country at this time.
Mr. Speaker, the Norwegian Prime Minister is doing what is right for his country. If only our Prime Minister would do the same.
Well, you want the British Prime Minister to do the best for the Norwegian people? That's very strange.
Stopping all new drilling in the North Sea was a reckless promise when he made it before the election. In the middle of a global energy crisis, it is catastrophic. Experts are predicting a £300 rise in bills in July. Approving new licenses would show he was serious about cutting bills. Why won't he do it?
Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, because of the action that we've taken, bills are coming down by up to £100 household bills next month. Then they will be capped for 3 months. That's what we're doing to protect households across the country. And who voted against it? The Tories and Reform, because they just don't get the impact on working people that we will protect.
Okay, Beadle.
Mr. Speaker, he says bills are coming down. They are higher than they were when he came into office. And he's talking about, he's talking about what they're doing to help with energy bills. Families and businesses will suffer from the spike in energy costs because of his decisions. He could abolish the green taxes on their bills. He could stop the fuel duty rise. We could drill our own gas in the North Sea. What's he doing? He is planning another giveaway to people on welfare. Yet again.
Oh, gee. So not only yay oil companies, fuck the poor.
He's taking money from those who do work to give to those who don't. First, we had the budget for Benefit Street. Now it's the bailout for Benefit Street. Doesn't this just prove that they've given up being the Labour Party and they're now just the Welfare Party?
As if this Labour Party have been good to the people of welfare, you fucking cunt. You're fucking grotesque. You're grotesque, man. Fuck off. I can't wait for the Tories to be destroyed. They'll be replaced by Reform, who might be worse, but the Tories need to be absolutely eviscerated. At the polls, you understand.
Mr. Speaker, the spike... they're the ones that double spend on welfare, Mr. Speaker. They're the ones with a broken system. And when we tried to mend it, what did they do? They voted against it.
Order. Mr. Dewhurst, you're tempting my patience. Thank you, Prime Minister.
Please fuck off, Lindsay. Please actually fuck off.
Mr. Speaker, she talks about the spike in energy prices. That's because of the war, which I say we shouldn't join, and she says we should join without following through on the consequences. And time again, she gets the big calls absolutely wrong. She wanted to drag us into the war. She got that wrong. She opposed taking control of energy security, and she got that wrong.
No, stop doing the fucking chanting thing. You're not at the fucking football. How is this parliamentary? This is shite. Stop doing this.
She opposed our decision to cut energy bills, and she got that wrong. And she seriously thinks that'll make her relevant, and she's got that wrong.
Debbie Abrams.
Just stop. Just fucking stop.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can I thank the Prime Minister for the new funding for 3 new primary school nurseries in Oldham? But can I ask him specifically about Monday's liaison committee, when he agreed that Israeli settlements in the West Bank are unlawful?
Oh, anti-Semitism. We've got an anti-Semitism. Okay.
Their expansion threatens the viability of a Palestinian state. Will he confirm, as he said he would, that any potential bidder for EU1 contracts from the UK knows that this is unlawful And will he set out exactly what will happen as a consequence?
Nothing will happen as a consequence. Like, I'm going to predict what he's going to say here, right? We oppose the illegal settlements, and we've sanctioned the individuals involved, and we call upon the Israeli government to do something, and then nothing will happen. Is what I'm going to guess he's going to say. Okay? No pre-watch. Let's see.
Mr. Speaker, let me do that. The Israeli settlements, including the E1 settlement, are a flagrant breach of international law and threaten the viability of the two-state solution. That's why, alongside international partners, we've sanctioned those responsible and their supporters who incite violence. We've consistently urged the Israeli government to act to stop these incidents. We also recommend that settlement products are labelled so that consumers are informed, and will continue to take the necessary action to defend Palestinians and protect the two-state solution.
You're a fucking clown. I mean, I was correct, but he's an absolute fucking clown. Right. When you say you've sanctioned the people responsible, no, you haven't. You haven't sanctioned Benjamin Netanyahu at all. You've sent him weapons. You've done spy flights so that he can fucking murder Palestinians. You've given him diplomatic cover. You've literally voted against any sanctions, or indeed sometimes abstained because you're a coward, against any sanctions against Israel at the United Nations. You haven't sanctioned the people responsible for this at all. You've aided them.
Leader of the Liberal Democrats, Sir Ed Davey.
Hey! Who's just come back from kayaking.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can I associate...
Also, not only do we have Jenny's ass, but also a delightful pair of polka dot socks from that Lib Dem, who I don't recognise. But anyway, I do like a funky sock. Not funky as in smelly, like nice. Yeah.
myself with the Prime Minister's remarks about Monday's despicable attacks on the Jewish community. Anti-Semitism has no place in our society, and given the potential links with the IRGC, I hope the government will move faster to prescribe them as terrorists. And Mr. Speaker, as a former...
Right. Again, the legislation is the current terrorism legislation and prescription, what do they call it? Regime, doesn't allow for the prescription of state actors. So, for instance, you couldn't say Somalia is terrorist, officially under British law. You couldn't say the IRGC is terrorist under British law. You couldn't even say that the IDF was terrorist under British law. Now, that law should be changed because the IDF are terrorists. So you should be able to legally, prescribe them as such, because that's exactly what they do. But the legislation doesn't allow for that. So when he says we should prescribe the IRGC, he must know that's not legally possible under the current paradigm. You know. But yeah, the terrorism legislation needs to be changed because, a situation where the IDF, or indeed the IRGC, are not terrorist, but Palestine Action are, is mad. That's fucking ludicrous.
Former Secretary of State for Energy, who granted licences for oil and gas exploration. Can I make a judgment on this argument? The Prime Minister is actually right, and the lead opposition is wrong.
Prime Minister friend. Ooh. Look at that fucking stank eye. Oh, so someone wants to get into a coalition government after the next election, I see. Ooh. Is the speaker, is he awake? Because I'm hearing lots of shouting at the current leader of the Liberal Democrats, and he's just allowing that to happen. They're just screaming at him so much that they're nowhere near a microphone, and I can hear them very clearly. And the speaker's just like, "Yeah, that's fine." I don't need to fucking do anything. I'd have to get up on my feet and, like, kick someone out of the chamber. What do you think I am? Oh, some sort of arbiter of the discussion. Prick.
Mr. Speaker, the law is clear and I believe in the rule of law. Mr. Speaker, just before...
Except when it comes to Israel, of course. But, you know.
Before President Trump posted about his supposed negotiations with Iran on Monday, traders made hundreds of millions of dollars of extra bets on oil futures. This looks like Donald Trump giving his mates insider information so they can make themselves richer.
Yeah, and I would hazard a guess that the quote-unquote blind trust that isn't very blind, that controls Trump's money, also made those bets based on information that he passed to them.
His illegal war in Iran makes everyone else poorer. This looks like corruption of the very worst kind. Does the Prime Minister share my fear that Trump is making his war decisions based on what enriches himself and his friends?
Not just his war decisions, all of his decisions. Every decision he ever makes is, how can I make more money? Or how can my rich friends make more money? Or should I pardon Ghislaine Maxwell because I, Donald Trump, am a paedophile?
Rather than what makes peace in the Middle East.
Prime Minister. Well, can I thank him for his verdict? At least he's read the law that she obviously hasn't read. But, Mr. Speaker, in relation to the traders, we've seen the activity there. What I can say is that all of my decisions are based in the best interests of our country, and that's why I've decided that we will not get dragged into the war, unlike the Leader of the Opposition, and I've decided we will act in collective self-defence of ourselves and our allies. And so I comment on my actions, and they're the principles behind my actions.
Red Davey.
Mr. Speaker, if Trump's war pushes up energy bills by £500, the Chancellor's very narrow plan simply won't cut it. And while I don't fall for the crocodile tears of the leader of the Conservatives, who cheered on this illegal war without a thought for the impact on people's energy bills...
Stop. So it's okay to shout, "Stop sucking up, Ed"? That, again, that's all perfectly parliamentary. That's the Leader of the Opposition, Kenneth Bibbidi Bobs, just shouting. That's fine. That's allowed.
And the government is right to reject repeating Liz Truss's blanket cheque approach. But, Mr. Speaker, the government can't ignore the millions of families...
Oh, 8DX, man. The British Parliament don't give a fuck about dead Iranians. They care about British energy prices. The war isn't bad from their perspective because brown people are being killed. They like brown people being killed. It's that energy prices go up and that makes them unpopular. That's literally it. They're fucking detritus. They're human garbage. By which I mean the people at Westminster.
...who don't get benefits, who already face a cost of living crisis. So can the Prime Minister at least guarantee to all those families and pensioners that he won't let their energy bills go up by £500 this year?
Let me say my verdict. He's right about the Leader of the Opposition wanting to join the war, and she's wrong about that. At least he's read the legislation that I'm being challenged on. It does help. It does help. At least
just clowning on him. I mean, he's not answering the question in any way whatsoever, but that's nothing new. But he is just absolutely rinsing her, and rightly so, because she's shit.
At least he's right. It was the leader of their party that said, let's all go to war without thinking through the consequences. We're now discussing the consequences. Mr. Speaker, in relation to the support, we've made clear the principles, the approach we'll take. We'll keep this under careful review. Energy bills for households are frozen until are capped until the end of June. It's really important I make clear that that's whatever happens in the conflict, because I know the public are concerned about that. We will then put in place appropriate support and look at how we put the principles behind it.
Durham Paffey.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and can I associate myself with the Prime Minister's remarks on the terrible Golders Green attacks? Mr. Speaker, rebuilding trust and integrity in our democracy matters deeply to my constituents in Southampton. Shamefully, it doesn't matter at all to some, particularly the senior Reform UK politician who has been convicted of taking bribes from Russia.
True.
Does the Prime Minister agree?
But it is okay, of course, to take bribes from Israel. That is absolutely allowed. But Russia?
There has never been a more urgent need to defend our country from hostile forces who would try to undermine our democracy. And will he set out what concrete steps he is taking to crack down on foreign interference in British politics?
Prime Minister. Can I thank my honourable friend? He makes a powerful point. Mr. Speaker, the Communities Secretary will make a statement later on the Rycroft review, which sets out the stark threats posed by illicit finance. I can tell the House we will act decisively to protect our democracy. That
when the fuck have you ever acted decisively, Keith? Really?
Will include a moratorium on all political donations made through cryptocurrencies.
Well, Nigel Farage is fucked then. Oh no.
I hope that will be welcomed across the House. There is only one party leader has shown he will say anything, no matter how divisive, if he's paid to do so.
Nigel Farage.
Was that you calling him or answering the point? I don't know.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Smash the gangs. That is what the Prime Minister promised us. Trust me.
Wow. He's talking about immigration. What a fucking surprise.
I will stop the boats from coming, but 70,000 later, and 1,000 in the last week, and too many young men that pose a threat to national security.
Oh, young men.
Is it not time to admit?
Oh, it's the young men. They're going to come and fuck our white women. I'm not a fascist. Also, yeah, that tie is fucking grotesque.
Smash the gangs has been a total abject failure, along, frankly, with most of his other policies. Isn't it now time, he told us, as summer approaches, what is Plan B?
Prime Minister. Well, Mr. Speaker, this is from the man and the party that voted against giving law enforcement counter-terrorism style powers to tackle them. So he wants the grievance, he doesn't want it sorted. And he has absolutely no judgment. He again said, let's join the war, let's all go to war. I want to make it perfectly clear he wants the war. A week later, screeching U-turn, we don't want to go to war. And he says, trust his judgment. Mr. Speaker, it's hard to take anything he says seriously. He promised lower tax, and now Reform councils are hiking council tax by 9%. In Worcestershire, this is what he said about Worcestershire. He said, we took control of...
To be fair, that's because they're raising it 9% because you've allowed them to. You have to get a say-so of the Secretary of State for that kind of rise. So you allowed that to happen. You could have stopped them. Now, of course, that would just mean they'd have to cut more, of course. But, like, you're involved in that process as well. You're not, you're not guilt-free on that particular issue.
Actually, bankrupt council, I wish we hadn't bothered. He asked for people's votes, and then he abandons them. Reform don't want to solve problems, they only want to exploit them. I am thankful for the opportunity to change this country for the better. He says he wishes he hadn't bothered winning councils, because they're an absolute disgrace.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can I thank the Prime Minister for the £35 million of funding announced this week to transform Crucible Theatre and keep the world...
What's happening? What?
Order! Order! I want to hear this member's question, especially those who are interested in snooker. Dr. Rachel.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The fuck was all that about? Reform walked out? No way. Oh my god, what a load of fucking losers. Really? What a fucking commitment to democracy. I've asked my question, and now we're all gonna fucking leave. For a second, I was gonna be like, oh, at least he's in the chamber today. At least he's actually doing the job that he's being paid for. But he couldn't even be bothered to stay to the end of the fucking session. Couldn't even be bothered. Is there anything he actually, like, does properly? The only thing he actually does, where he does the job from start to finish, is Cameo, because it lasts 5 seconds. Can we get a rewind? On what? On them going rabble, rabble, rabble? I guess. Okay. Oh, that's why she's saying bot. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure what the woman on the left, or I suppose technically the right, depending which way you're facing. But she's in the Labour Party. Of course she's on the fucking right. Anyway, she's shouting, bye! Brexit. Farexit. Oh yeah, you can kind of see.
Order!
Refix it.
Order!
True.
I want to hear this member's question, especially those...
Farage finally realised he was being trolled on Cameo, and has he really suspended his account? Oh, no more Chungus. No more Mo Lester. Oh, no. Honestly, one of the great British cultural creations over the last... No more Up the Ra. Up the Ra, Nigel.
Those who are interested in...
I think we've got to have a bit of fucking Farage Cameo Chungus, right? This man might be Prime Minister one day. Just saying that.
Happy Pog Day to my favourite Valorant gamers. A reminder, show the sus simps and incels among us how to date girls and not be big cringe imposter Chungus. She made beans, she do be eating them though. Sheesh.
She do make beans, she do be eating them though. I think we can safely say that is the first Prime Minister that's ever said that. If he does become Prime Minister.
Hi Harv, you're turning 18 and many happy returns of the day. Well, you're a grown up now. You're able to vote. You can vote UKIP. You can vote Reform. You can vote for the Labour Party if you want to. I mean, hey, it's a free country. It's entirely up to you. I tell you what, though, Harv, it's a much freer country. Now we're outside the European Union and proud and free, and that's fantastic. So birthday wishes come from your friends Nick and Kerr and from Uncle Peter and Harv. They come from me too. Have a great birthday. It's going to be your birthday very, very soon, and I'm to tell you to use your Swaz Techers against Pat Keys and
no!
boot if needs be. And to play.
There's no fucking way. There is not a... No. There's no way he didn't know what that was. The first one was a bit more hidden, but I'm not even going to say it. The thing he just said, right? I was fine with Swaz Techers because that's funny, but can I post? You can post a link. I can't promise I'll play it though because I don't know what the fuck it's going to be. But you can post a link.
Mo Lester in pro clubs, and this comes with kind regards from Liam. Ben, hope you have a really fantastic birthday.
It's genuinely funny that he didn't know. He wasn't in on the joke that he was being trolled. Amazing.
Birthday. This is for Catherine, and it's booked by Big Chungus. I know that Bussy be so talented. It's doing cartwheels, but I don't care.
We're having that one again.
This is for Catherine, and it's booked by Big Chungus. I know that Bussy be so talented. It's doing cartwheels, but I don't care. An update to the group. Crisis in Plotland. Ramona Big Chungus has launched a military coup, and only you can stop it. Sign up to NordVPN and use the code Among Us to beat the totally sus Chungus and save Plotland. Hog Day. And I've got to tell you that Big Chungus sends his regard. Attention, all sussy gamers. Tuesday is dropping a dutty track, and I've got...
Dropping a dutty track. Oh, fucking hell. It's so fucking dumb. Honest to God. Oh.
I'll tell you, it's going to be better than Brexit. Make sure to stream it all to your crewmates so we can find out who the imposter is. And Big Chungus is out. And he wants to say, Wag Wan Ozian my neek, happy birthday poggies.
You cunt. You absolute cunt.
Attention, all civil gamers. It's time to big up the man Dems. Yo. Hello, Ozzy, and I've got a message for you from Iron, and you're going to be 24 years old, and he wants to say, Wag Wan Ozian my neek, happy birthday poggies. And Ozian, you are a supporter of Brexit, a sensible person, and I'm told you celebrated in style with a party and a cake. Well, cakes are right for all British occasions. So well done, you. And hey, we've got Brexit. It's your birthday. Loads to celebrate. I thought it was proper Brexit tunes. Got you now, Wolf. You're under citizen's arrest. Stan is eating KFC and Wilf equals red card. Wilf, please hand in your UKIP trip permission slip, or no Norilsk for you.
What?
You're playing this game called Warzone, where you're doing battle nightly against the Europeans. And I'm to congratulate you on your excellent work on your KD ratio in Verdansk and crushing people on European servers.
I've got a message for you, and it comes from the kids. So please take note from me, your commander-in-chief. Now, you're in a coma, and the street has been overrun by ISIS. Only you can stop this. So wake up and get your bacon ready. What? Certified UKIP, 7 days a week. Oxford vaccine. The EU looking weak and now at each other's throats. Yeah, you dealing with this Brexit success? We're going to get more Hannah. We're going to get more cod from this Brexit success.
Oh no!
Give me everything we've got for this
fucking
Brexit success.
kill me,
Barney. I hope you're enjoying this Brexit success. Since Thomas is just trying to tease you.
Oh no! Fuck off, man. Oh, it is like looking into the void. Yeah. Yeah. He literally will say anything. What a fucking loser.
Snooker, Dr. Marie
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can I thank the Prime Minister for the £35 million of funding announced this week to transform the Crucible Theatre and keep the World Snooker Championship at the heart of Sheffield. I want my constituents to be able to enjoy this fantastic tournament day and night, travelling by tram train from Stocksbridge to Sheffield via Outerbridge, Warncliffe Side and Deepcar. I'm grateful for our South Yorkshire Mayor, Oliver Coppard, for kick-starting these plans. Will the Prime Minister work with me and and the South Yorkshire Mayor to ensure we get spades in the ground for a tram train extension to Stocksbridge as soon as possible so my constituents can enjoy the snooker. Yeah.
I do like the World Championship. Honestly, I'd double the number of frames though, because I'm a glutton. Like, I watch so much snooker during the World Championship that after it ends, I get like withdrawals. I'm jonesing for fucking snooker. You can't give me 24/7 snooker and then cut it off. Like, that's how you can't expect me to go cold turkey. It's fucking dangerous. I did see that the 153 the other day. Yeah, mad.
Mr. Speaker, I see Reform of Works walked out. They obviously realise they're absolutely snookered.
Oh, fuck off. Just fuck off.
Mr. Speaker.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Sheffield and the Crucible Theatre.
Yeah, the World Championship will move to China eventually, just because the numbers. Look at the money you can make, you know. But at least for the next 20 years, I think they're staying in Sheffield, so that's something. Apparently, it is also a stiff dick of poop. Thank you, Over Historian, for gifting a sub to 255 ad. Whoever that person, I don't know who that is. Could be anyone, couldn't it?
Are the beating heart of snooker, and I am delighted that we'll host the World Snooker Championships for many years to come, because this is what Labour stands for, investing in things that make us proud of the places that we live. Can I reassure my honourable friend, we're working...
Darts is good too. I don't see it as a competition. All of these weird pub games that have become kind of sports, but not really sports, I enjoy. I could watch either, or both.
Closely with South Yorkshire Combined Authority on better transport links, providing over £1.4 billion to spend on their priorities, which could include a new tram fleet, more modern stops,
please.
or deliver extensions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Last week I met my constituents Rob and Lizzie at the King's Arms Hotel in Melrose, which we run as part of a family business of 10 hotels across Scotland. They employ over 250...
There's nothing worse than a Scottish Tory. You just fuck off. Get in the bin.
People, but their national insurance bill is going up by £288,000 because of Labour's tax on jobs. We need to get Britain working again, but this government's policies are doing the opposite.
You don't see many big kings. Well, look, Shaun Murphy was world champion. Okay? There's some fat lads. Just saying. We stand a big king.
Does the Prime Minister understand the damage that he is doing to our economy, and how does he expect businesses like this to survive?
Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, the steps we've taken have been to repair the damage that was done by the previous government. And we took those steps, and the spring statement showed the results of those steps. Inflation coming down, interest rates coming down, and the economy stabilised. I know they don't understand that because they blew up the economy in the first place.
Just giving them air, Tony Antoniazzi.
Mr. Speaker, my constituents Tony and Rebecca.
And Tony Antoniazzi, who was mentioned the other day on Turn Left. By the way, hello to
Stop it. Get some help.
Hello to the new people who joined from the Turn Left thing. I got like 200 fucking people. I passed 19,000 on YouTube. Doesn't matter, like, it's still cool, you know. Anyway, only took me fucking 10 years to get there. Yeah, and Tonia Antoniazzi was the woman who introduced the amendment to the legislation about abortion that got mentioned on that show. So it's apposite, is that the word? For her to ask a question. I don't know if it's going to be about that. I haven't pre-watched, but there you go. I'm Scottish and I agree with you, Kev. They're a scourge. They are a fucking scourge. They're just the worst, you know.
Bodley received insulation under the Tory government's Eco4 scheme, but the work left their home with...
Second hype train of the night? Good gosh. Thank you to... Why would I saw it? Oh no, I said that one, didn't I? Thank you to Kernow Zach, who resubscribed with Prime for 2 months. Much love. Any relation to Kerno Damo? Because I presume that's your name, your first name. It's the same first name, and not related to the place that you're from in any way whatsoever. I assume. Everyone should go and follow Kerno Damo, by the way, on YouTube. Very good. Now, you've asked that like 5 times before. Yeah, and I'm going to continue to fucking ask it. Get used to it, bitch, okay? Each person gets one joke, and I'll repeat that one joke forever. Okay? Literally, every time the leader of the opposition stands up, I say, who? Who's this? I don't know who the person is, even though I'm fully aware of who the person is. Fucking watching you.
Black mould, leak.
Although technically you're watching me, so, you know.
Stamp and even a solar fire, damage now requiring £100,000 worth of repairs. Rebecca is suicidal, Tony has had pneumonia, their asthmatic son cannot live at home. And like many others, they are required under the rules to use the same contractor responsible for the faulty work, only up to £20,000. Now, will the Prime Minister commit to overhauling this broken system so that my constituents and many others can receive fully funded repairs carried out by a competent builder?
Yeah. Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, an independent audit of the previous government's failed insulation schemes show unacceptable levels of failings. We've acted to make sure poor quality installations are fixed. It is important that those responsible are held to account for the cost of...
Apologies that I let certain questions just go by and don't like comment on them because I don't know that there's anything I can really say to that. Business is a shit? Yeah, okay. Well, that's not taking us anywhere. Cat keeps crossing the US-Canada border. Hello.
This is Zero Avenue in South Surrey, and these picturesque homes sit smack on the border. This side is Canada, across the street, the United States. No fences or concrete blocks, just a little ditch and signs warning, don't even think about crossing.
Oh, it's very secure, yeah.
And people follow the rules except for one resident, him. Unfazed by jurisdictional authority, he is the Canadian border-jumping kitty cat.
Where the fuck are ICE? Why isn't this cat being gunned down by ICE?
Eagle. What? I think it's because he's got 4 legs, not 2.
Decidedly confident, ignoring the watchful gaze of border agents and that machine in the sky that's as useful as the dog as far as he's concerned. Several times a day, almost every day, he shows little interest in international law and carries on his very important work of mousing.
He's a cool little cat, keeps coming back and forth and says hello to everybody.
His name?
Louis.
Officially, Louis Vuitton.
Fucking French. I knew it.
Like the designer, and his styling cross-border feline feats are now so famous.
I love him.
He's become a local legend and a social media star.
A criminal is what he is.
It's a bit mind-blowing. He kind of flaunts his recklessness for the law.
Now, Mr. Vuitton is particularly good at catching all sorts, and he has been known to smuggle the goods across the border and leave them on the doorstep.
I bet he did not declare them.
We're not sure whether U.S. agents have caught up with him for questioning. We do know he had no interest in a TV interview.
Doesn't go through customs. He's got a passport.
If he did,
oh no, random Canadian man.
So the cat who turned 6 on July 1st, Canada Day, will hop back over the line when he's good and ready. St. John Alexander, CTV News, Surrey.
No borders, okay? Yes to cats, no to borders. Boom.
Remediating the issues. I do recognise that there are some complicated cases. I'll make sure a Minister looks at her constituent's case and that urgent action is taken.
Harriet Baldwin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Now, the Prime Minister says that he's concerned about the cost of living. So can he explain why he allowed his government minister to give permission to reform-led Worcestershire County Council to inflict that 9% council tax hike on my constituents?
Fuck off.
to think you know about the Victorians and ankles
Oh, this is Jay Draper, by the way. Everyone go and follow.
is a lie. So I go out a lot in period costume, and inevitably at some point you need to raise your skirt, to climb stairs or tie your shoelaces, and someone always goes, "Oh my god, I can see your ankles, you dirty girl." But here's the thing, I've never seen this in a period source. Like, certainly women's skirts were always long, but if you're climbing out of a carriage or going upstairs or stepping over the horse muck that was all over the roads or working class, then people are going to see your ankles. And etiquette books from the time actually tell you not to have skirts that are too long because they'll get mucky. When tripping over the pavement, a lady should gracefully raise her dress a little over the ankle. And of course, even if a lady does raise her skirts, you still can't see her ankle because she's got boots and stockings on. Even in Victorian pornography, there isn't any special preoccupation with the ankle. Like, often the ankles are the only thing that's still covered up because she's kept her stockings on. Like, some blokes find legs sexy, certainly, and some find feet sexy, but that's nothing special to the Victorians. I think this myth about ankles needs to die.
True. The only thing I care about with ankles is that they're as far apart as possible. Ayo!
Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, Reform have to take responsibility for their decisions, and they've moved out.
John Trickett.
Mr. Speaker, two members of the same family in my constituency recently suffered serious health problems. The NHS was there for them, as you would expect, and they're both hopefully now on the road to recovery. But the recently departed honourable member had a different idea, that we should have an insurance-based health policy, an American-style policy, and that family, whose cost would have been $1.2 million, would have been crucified financially by what happened. So will the Prime Minister take the opportunity to say that
Yeah, my council tax went up massively as well, and I'm not in a fucking reform council.
our principles on the NHS are that it's universal for everybody, that wealth does not give you privileged access.
Yeah, I don't get the feet thing either. I find feet enormously gross, but well, not enormously, but just a bit. They're sweaty and they smell. Like, it's not sexy to me.
And that this is a public service, not a private service.
Prime Minister.
I'm deeply sorry, sir, about the case that he raises. We are the party...
Yeah, Farage will definitely try and privatise it even more than the Tories and Labour have, yeah.
...of the NHS, and we will always fight to ensure that it remains free at the point of use. Mr. Speaker, we inherited an NHS on its knees, but we are seeing progress. Waiting lists are down. Patient satisfaction is improving. We got the best ambulance response times for half a decade. There's much more to do, but we're delivering the investment that's needed, and it was opposed by who? The Tories and the now departed Reform.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My constituent Susan suffered horrific, unimaginable, lifelong injury from a pelvic mesh implant. She lost her business, her marriage, her health, and lives in constant 24-hour pain. I'd like to congratulate the new Minister for Public Health on her appointment after her tireless campaigning on this issue, which has clearly been recognised. But more than 2 years after the Hughes report set out clear recommendations for redress, thousands of women like Susan are still waiting for a government response. So can the Prime Minister tell Susan and the thousands of other women like her how much longer they will have to wait?
Minister.
Can I thank her for raising Susan's case, and it's really important that she does so, and I'm deeply sorry for the enduring harm that patients have suffered. Ministers have met campaigners and the Patient Safety Commissioner to discuss their recommendations, and I can assure her we will provide a full response to the Hughes report recommendations at the earliest opportunity. And I'm happy for ministers to update her on the actions we've taken and to discuss the particular case that she's raised with me.
Dr. Ellison-Gordon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I recently met with Graham and Malcolm, who bravely shared their lived experience of addiction to monkey dust, a synthetic cathinone causing significant problems in Stoke. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I recently met with Graham and Malcolm, who bravely shared their lived experience of addiction to monkey dust, a
Monkey dust. Monkey dust. Like the TV show. Is monkey just a new variant of cake? I wouldn't be surprised. Fucking monkey dust. That's the show where the pedo find a general and all of those. You know, I've shown you bits from it. You got banned the last time you streamed monkey dust. I fucking did, yeah. Unbelievable.
It stimulates the part of the brain called Shatner's bassoon.
Is that you, Dobsky? I never did it. I only said I did it so they get me nuts out of my eyes.
Synthetic cathinone causing significant problems in Stoke-on-Trent. They shared their challenges to recovery caused by a lack of joined-up working between local services, including mental health and housing. I am now setting up a task force to address these gaps.
Is it a made-up drug? Is it a by-stir-boil drug? Do you get fucked and bombed on monkey dust? I don't know.
And to learn from excellent local projects such as Sphere. Will the Prime Minister meet with me to discuss how, together, as a country, we can tackle this pernicious drug?
Can I thank her for her work? She's right to highlight the growing threat posed by dangerous synthetic drugs. Alongside deploying new detection methods at the border to seize drugs, we're investing in better mental health support and drug addiction treatment with almost 26 million for...
Oh, it's an actual thing, so she hasn't been, like, tricked into saying monkey dust in Parliament. It's an actual drug, okay. As I said during the week, I got excited that I was able to put out a washing, my first washing on the line of the year, because it was dry enough, and so I'm not a person who's very au fait with drugs anymore. I'm not an exciting person.
Stoke-on-Trent. I'll ask the Health Minister to discuss her important work with her.
I get high on life and alcohol.
Speed fortune.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And as we move towards the Easter recess, I'm sure the Prime Minister's thoughts are turning to the miracle of resurrection. But constituents in Bromley and Biggin Hill have asked me to resurrect something, and that is cash in shops.
I hate Tories so much. That was a joke, was it? That was a funny joke you did.
1 in 7 shops in the last year has moved to a cashless organisation, which risks leaving behind those on low income or the elderly. And indeed, we've heard today of the risk of moving to digital devices for our economic liberty, as mobile phones could be lost or stolen or other. So what is the Prime Minister doing to ensure that nobody is left behind in a cashless society?
Well, it is really important that nobody's left behind in a cashless society. The vast majority are moving online, but we need to remember that some don't want to or can't, and we have to make sure there's provision in place for them as well, and I'm grateful to him for raising that.
So he's not going to do anything then, because that's not a plan. Just saying it needs to happen. Well, what are you going to do? Nothing.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This government has shown that it takes seriously the issues of justice and violence against women and girls.
I'll just say yum yum, and we'll leave it there.
In my constituency, I have been made aware of a case where 2 children of a convicted paedophile have been trying to change their surname, but can't because both parents have to agree. They are caught in a trap, not of their own making. Will my right honourable friend agree to meet with me and or the relevant minister to hear how the legal system is denying justice to these children and what we can do about it? Thank you.
Can I thank him for...
The British law is so fucking whack in so many ways, you know.
Raising this, and it is shocking and horrifying to hear what these children have to go through. I'm absolutely clear in my mind that should not be happening, and I can inform you, I've instructed the Justice Ministers to look at what they can do. They are
it has
going to
tailed
review,
off a bit, hasn't it?
the payments and see what else they can do. And so I'm really pleased he's raised this, so we can now act on it, and I'll make sure that he gets the meeting that he's asking for.
Ian Duncan Smith.
Mr. Speaker.
Oh God, this creature.
The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps are responsible worldwide and here in the United Kingdom for the rise of anti-Semitism.
Are they? They're the reason there's a rise in anti-Semitism. Okay, babe. You literally have the blood of the poor on your hands. Like, get in the bin.
Inciting extreme Islam attacks and at the same time attacking dissident Iranians and British citizens, as well as fomenting all sorts of hate marches.
Hate marches? Oh yeah, okay. You mean pro-Palestine marches? Cool. Good.
A very simple question. We are now at war with Iran, whether we like it or not. But the reality for us, therefore, is that we have never dealt with this organisation. And I simply ask the Prime Minister, doesn't matter, it's not...
I know what I'd do to deal with the likes of you, Mr. Duncan Smith. But terms of service and all of that. Gil, calm down.
Party political, I simply ask him, can he make the decision now that they will proscribe this brutal bunch of thugs?
You literally can't, under the current legislation. You would have to have an amendment to that law that allowed state actors to be... Look, yeah, these people were ministers. They should understand what the law is, surely.
And send them packing or arrest them and put them in jail. Now, right now, get rid of this organisation.
Fuck off, you
Thank you for raising this. It is really important and serious. He knows that we've sanctioned the IRGC in its entirety, and we've posed over 230 sanctions since coming into office. The existing prescription powers are not designed for a state organisation, but we do keep this under review, as did the last government.
That's at least two different two different Tory MPs and former ministers that he's had to explain basic elements of the law to. Also, cheeky little Jenny popping out here. Head and left paw action. Lovely to see. Salutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On the 16th of July 2005, Private Leon Spicer and Private Philip Hewitt, both from Tamworth, and Second Lieutenant Richard Shearer from Nuneaton were tragically killed in Iraq.
What were they doing in Iraq? That's a strange one. Maybe if we hadn't sent our soldiers to kill Iraqis, those men would still be alive today. It's a thought, isn't it? Like, they didn't need to be there. We shouldn't have sent them there. That's... No? Okay.
Than 20 years on, our communities continue to remember their service and reflect on the ultimate sacrifice that they made. The Staffordshire 3 group, chaired by Anthony Firth, has worked tirelessly to fundraise for a memorial, which is due to be unveiled next month, and to which the Prime Minister is, of course, warmly invited. Will the Prime Minister...
He's not going to go to that. Are you fucking joking? What?
Join me in paying tribute to these three brave men and in commending the Staffordshire 3 group for their dedication in ensuring that their legacy is never forgotten.
Well, can I thank my honourable friend for the invitation? And can I...
And look, thank you for the invitation. I won't be coming though, you dopey cunt, but yeah, thanks for the invitation, honestly.
Join her in paying tribute to Private Leon Spencer, Private Philip Hewitt and Second Lieutenant Richard Shearer. Their bravery and sacrifice in defence of our values will never be forgotten, and I'm delighted to hear a memorial will be unveiled. Can I also pay tribute to all those serving today in the Middle East, shooting down...
Why do we have people in the Middle East? That's not defensive, is it?
...threats from our allies and protecting our people.
Iqbal Mohammed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. May I also associate myself with the Prime Minister's remark about the attack on the Jewish community in Golders Green. There is no place for hatred, anti-Semitism or violence of any kind against individuals.
Lovely beard. I'm just going to put it out there. Not relevant to the question he's going to ask, I'm sure, but, like, that's a very nice beard.
Mr. Speaker, an independent panel of senior judges found no basis for misconduct proceedings against the British Chief Prosecutor of the International Criminal Court, Karim Khan, King's Counsel. Yet reports suggest that elements within the court's governing body are seeking to disregard those findings, while ICC officials continue to face external pressure and sanctions. Therefore, given the UK's commitment to the rule of law and as a human rights lawyer himself, what steps will the Prime Minister set out to defend the independence of the ICC and to support British nationals carrying out international judicial...
He's not going to do anything. because he's an agent of the Israeli state. He's not going to do anything about that at all.
Rolls.
Prime Minister.
I'm not going to comment on the internal proceedings of the court.
Why? Why won't you do that? Any particular reason?
He knows we support the court. We are party to the treaty, and there are legal obligations that flow from that.
It's in order for a member.
A nothing answer again.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In my constituency of Southend Western Lee, we have a cohesive and diverse community with a significant Jewish population and a thriving Muslim community and many others from various different backgrounds, all living together and supporting each other. I was therefore appalled to learn of the arson attack against the Jewish community in Golders Green this week, and I'm deeply concerned at the Shadow Justice Secretary's outrageous comments last week about the community iftar in Trafalgar Square, seemingly supported by the leader of the opposition. Can the Prime Minister assure me and my worried constituents that he and his government will do all they can to stamp out hate and hate speech in our communities?
Can I...
Well, you think the guy who said Island of Strangers is going to stamp out hate speech? The guy who's introducing BMP policy of paid repatriation. That guy's an ally in the fight against bigotry, is he? The fuck are you talking about?
Say again what a shocking anti-Semitic attack it was in Golders Green, and be absolutely clear that an attack on British Jews is an attack on all of us. And Mr. Speaker, on Monday morning I met British community, Jewish community leaders to talk through what we could do on ambulances, on security and on the social cohesion plan. Can I also say this? I was really struck by the fact that the Jewish community came out last week against the comments of the Shadow Justice Secretary, standing in solidarity with Muslims who wanted to pray in Trafalgar Square. And equally, on Monday at the Eid event we had, Muslims stood in solidarity with our Jewish community. That is Britain, contrary to what the Shadow Justice Secretary said last week, supported by the leader of the opposition. That is how far they've fallen.
Completely out of completely without the context there. Yeah, I agree with him. But the fact that he is also a side of how British democracy has fallen, you know, rather puts it all into perspective. But yeah, the Tory party are just racist fuckheads. Also, just noticed Tiny Green Queen is stood up. I hope she gets to ask a question. Although there can't be that many left, actually, but...
Speaker, Thames Water is lurching from crisis to crisis. Last year, it was let off record fines for pumping sewage into our rivers by Ofwat. It is allowed...
This is not me. I don't even wear glasses. Although this is very much a Superman Clark Kent situation, I guess. But yeah.
To do so under rules that are laid out in the Water Act of 1991. Will he consider scrapping those rules to stop Ofwat letting water companies off the hook?
No, he won't, because he's in the pocket of big business.
Prime Minister.
Can I thank him for raising this? And it is deeply concerning, and we're looking at what more we can do, because it's been too much of too concern for too long, and so we need to act.
Red Thomas.
Mr. Speaker, as the COVID inquiry graphically laid bare last week, the NHS was starved of the investment it needed under the party opposite. Nowhere more so than at Northwick Park Hospital, whose brave and extraordinary staff worked round the clock during COVID, looking after many of my constituents.
Is he my
Given
brother?
the very
No.
welcome substantial investment that the government
Or at
has
least not to
committed
the best of my
to
knowledge.
improve the NHS, will my right honourable friend encourage the Health Secretary to support plans for a new intensive care unit at Northwick Park?
Prime Minister.
The COVID report is a stark reminder, Mr. Speaker, of the extraordinary efforts of health workers to keep this country safe. We are delivering
Pay
record
them
investment
then.
and reform that our NHS needs. And whilst decisions about local infrastructure are made by integrated care boards, I'll make sure that he gets a meeting with the Minister to discuss his particular care. Today, Mr Speaker, NHS satisfaction rates have risen for the first time since the pandemic. That is the difference that a Labour government is making.
Neil Shrewsbury-Hurst's final question.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. On the 21st of November of last year, Robert Clancy, a hugely valued and much loved member of my staff,
Oh, the
took his
Solihull
own life.
cunt.
He was 20.
This is MP for Solihull, which is where I went to school. Yeah.
Hugely valued and much loved member of my staff took his own life.
Oh no, a Tory that killed themselves. How terrible.
He was 29. While successive governments have done a great deal to deal with the scourge of suicide in this country, there is much more that can be done. Will the Prime Minister personally commit to meet with me to discuss how we can prevent others experiencing the unimaginable pain that Rob's family and friends have endured?
Prime Minister.
And of course, Keir has personal experience because, of course, he appointed as ambassador to the United States the best friend of a man who also committed suicide. Honest.
Can I thank him for raising the case of Robert Clancy? We are happy to work across the House on all that we can do in relation to suicide. I'm pleased that we've been able to put in place a strategy. That is the action of this government, but it needs to be the action of all of us. And I'll make sure he gets the meeting that he is asking for. And thank him again for raising this case. It's really important that he does so.
Well, that's that then. Fucking hell. What a waste of time. Actually, no, it wasn't. There was some fun bits in there. Yeah. So, yeah. Thank you, everyone. My hair is a fucking mess. I'm going to blame the headphones. Yeah. One more bit right after Starmer. Why? What happens? What do you mean, one more bit? Direct point.
Please, Prime Minister's questions.
Point of order.
Oh, you mean point of order, right?
Mr Speaker. Point of order, Mr Speaker.
I can hear you, don't worry. Unfortunately. Just let them... Everybody's walking in front.
Well, it's never actually a point of order, so I don't know what this is going to be.
So it doesn't do you any benefit or me. Sir Edmund Lee, point of order.
Can I refer you to paragraph 22.9 of Erskine May, which stresses the...
Should point out Erskine May is the book that has the rules of parliamentary procedure in it. So.
primary importance of ministerial responsibility. Now, we've got to admit that Prime Ministers have always tried to dodge questions at Prime Minister's question time, and you're not responsible for the answers they give. But what we have seen in recent weeks is not just dodging questions, but every question asked to the Prime Minister, he refers to the Leader of the Opposition.
You can't see... Oh, yeah, no, I put the pictures up, didn't I? It's all right. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You don't... Why would you need to see that face? Looks like someone has grabbed hold of their ball sack and fucking squeezed too hard.
Policies. This is not Leader of the Opposition policies. It's Prime Minister's... And the whole...
Well, that was it. Okay, fine. Well, I mean, it's not really the job of the Speaker to dictate what the answer is. Not that you would necessarily know what his job is, because he doesn't do his fucking job, but he's supposed to make sure that an orderly discussion takes place. And, you know, an actual debate and all of that. But he doesn't. He just lets them scream at each other and go, ooh, and so on. And then stands up and goes, don't test my patience, lad. And then sits down and does nothing. And they go back to screaming at each other. But there you go. Why is Kev on that guy's back? Yes, I am Karl Marx. This is true. Or at least, thank you for saying that I look like someone who's buried in Highgate Cemetery and it wasn't the other one. Thank you. Shall we see who's going on the various platforms, and we'll raid into them? That is not what I wanted to do at all. I have fucked that right up. Edit video is what I wanted to do. There we go. Customization, redirect. Who is my left eye is going, so I'll send you over there on YouTube. Enjoy. Who is going on the Twitch machine? Lux Progressive is going, so I'll send you over to there. She is good beans. I think she's covering something American, which, given that most of the British people are asleep, okay, that seems like a sort of appropriate enough thing. There we go. Okie doke, everyone. I will see you all tomorrow certainly with Christy. We're going to be doing a happy hour. There's some fun stuff involved in that, including the Afro Man trial, which has been genuinely fascinating. If you haven't already seen about that, don't look it up. I want you to live react to the thing. It's very, very funny, as well as the usual shite, you know. Yes. So, I will see you all tomorrow for happy hour, and then maybe question time afterwards, although we might do that on Friday. I don't know. We'll wait and see. Free Palestine, free Cuba, free your mind. No, pass around.